So you've made it to the interview stage, but now you're staring at a list of common interview questions thinking, what's the best way to answer these if they come up? Well, in this video, I'm going to walk you through 7 of the most common and most misunderstood job interview questions, what they really mean, what hiring managers are actually listening for, and how to answer them in a way that makes people sit up and say, let's get them on board. Okay, so here we go. So number 1, tell me about yourself. Yes, let's kick off with the question that feels easy but catches almost everyone off guard. Now, you'd think this would be the easiest one, right? It's about you, you've lived your whole life with you. How hard could it be? But here's the catch. They're not asking for your life story. They're not asking what your dog's name is or where you went on holiday in 2017. And in my opinion, you will never really know what they're asking for unless you ask them. Yes, my advice for answering this question is to ask them a question. Now, I'm not talking about sitting there blank face saying, what do you mean? Because that would tell them that you are going to be a flat no before they've even got going. I'm talking about being relaxed and casually thanking them for asking before clarifying whether they'd like to hear about your professional background, your personal interests, or something else. Now, I've got a whole video going into detail about this strategy, so I'd highly recommend you go watch that next. It's hands down the best way to tackle this question. Now, of course, another way, which is a little easier for most, is to follow the PPF framework. So instead of rambling or listing your entire resume, use this simple 3-part formula covering your past, present, and future. So you could say, past, I've spent the last 5 years in whatever industry or role, working mostly with teams, clients, tools, whatever. Your present, so right now I'm focused on whatever project, the outcome, and I've really enjoyed it, relevant strengths, etc. And then future, I'm looking to grow, do more of X, step into Y, which is why I'm really excited about this role. That's it. Concise, confident, and directly relevant. And as a pro tip, end with a transition, like happy to dive deeper into any part of that if that's helpful. It shows that you're thoughtful and collaborative, okay? Now that you've opened strong and made a solid first impression, the next question usually comes in quick. And it's one that separates the curious from the committed. Why do you want to work here? Now, this one can feel like a trap, but the real reason they ask this is simple. They want to know if you've done your homework. They want to know if this is just another application or the one. So here's how to get it right. So first, start with them. What did you notice about their goals, challenges, or future plans? Then bridge to you. How does that connect to your goals, values, or career path? This shows that you're not just job hunting, you're purpose hunting, and effectively you're in it for a reason. But now comes the pivot to something more personal. Let's talk strengths. What's your greatest strength? Now, here's where most people go vague. I'm a hard worker, I'm a team player. Seriously, don't say this. A strong answer here is specific, relevant, and memorable. So instead of saying, I'm great at communication, say, I've had several roles where I've been the bridge between technical teams and non-technical clients. I love being able to translate complex ideas into clear, actionable plans. One client actually said I was the human version of Google Translate, and I took that as a compliment. See what that does? It makes your strength come alive, and it ties directly into your value. Now, a bonus tip is to go through the job description in advance and choose a strength that the job needs, not the one you like talking about most. Now, of course, nobody's perfect, and the interviewers know that, which is exactly why this next one shows up in nearly every interview. What's your greatest failure? Or tell me about a time you failed. Oh yes, the dreaded failure question. This one isn't about punishing you, it's about testing your self-awareness and growth mindset. Do you take responsibility? Do you learn from setbacks? Can you bounce back? Your best bet is to use the STAR method. Situation, set the scene, task, what were you trying to do? Action, what did you do? Result, what happened? What did you learn? Let me give you a quick example. So in my first management role, I took on too many projects at once. I thought saying yes to everything would prove my value, but it actually stretched the team too thin and we missed a few deadlines. I had to own that and learn to prioritize ruthlessly. Since then, I've built better systems to assess capacity and communicate clearly. So yeah, Nothing to worry about, just own it. Frame the learning and show growth. Now, speaking of growth, one of the most revealing questions is the classic 5-year plan. And no, working at Beach in Bali doesn't cut it. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Well, let's decode what they're really asking for here. Are you ambitious but realistic? Do your goals align with what the company can offer? Are you someone they can invest in long term? They don't need a 5-year master plan. They just want to know, will this role be a stepping stone within the company or just a pit stop? Now, here's a strong way to answer. In 5 years, I'd love to be in a more strategic role, ideally still within this industry. I'm especially interested in growing my skills in an area relevant to the company's focus, so I'm excited by how this role can set that foundation. Keep it grounded, keep it aligned, and don't say in your role to the hiring manager, or maybe that's a recruitment industry thing, but don't overstep the mark of confidence with arrogance. Now, this next one can feel awkward, especially if you're leaving a job you really didn't enjoy. So let's talk about how to answer it with grace. Number 6, why are you looking for a new role? Now, this question tests for red flags. Are you running towards something or running away? Even if your current job is toxic, try to frame things positively. Here's how. I've learned a lot in my current role, especially in whatever area, but I'm ready for a new challenge. Ideally in a company that values, and then insert what's important to you, where I can grow and contribute more meaningfully. Don't trash talk your current employer, even if they totally deserve it. You want to sound mature, professional, and future focused. And finally, let's wrap with a question that seems soft on the surface, but can say so much about you. Number 7, what motivates you? Now, this question is a window into your drive, and no, money is not the right answer, even if that's true. Instead, link your motivation to something meaningful and role relevant. So for example, I'm most motivated when I can solve problems that actually help people, whether that's improving a system or finding a faster way to do something. I love knowing my work makes a real difference. Or I get excited about learning new things and being slightly out of my comfort zone. I tend to seek out projects that push me to stretch a little, and that's where I do all my best work. They want to know that you're the kind of person who shows up energized, not someone who just clocks in for a paycheck. All right, so quick recap. Let's rapid fire the biggest mistakes and how to fix them. So don't wing your answers, structure them with intention. Don't focus only on yourself. Tie it back to the company and the role. Don't be afraid of tough questions. Use them as a chance to show growth and self-awareness. And remember, good candidates answer the questions. Great candidates understand the why behind the question and speak to that. And if you've ever left an interview thinking, ugh, I should have said that instead, you're not alone. These questions are tricky, even for experienced professionals. But with the right prep and a little perspective shift, you'll start seeing interviews not as interrogations, but as conversations. And remember, if you enjoyed this video, you should most definitely take a look at this video where I go into detail about my strategy of how to nail the tell me about yourself question every single time. I'll see you there.